The baseball guys are on out today, are they?
Sir?
Were the baseball guys out today?
No, I mean, we're here. I don't know where they're at.
Now, Tuesday, were you, I got a note from the dean 2 days late, said you all were excused on Tuesday, April the 16th?
Well, we were leaving. I think we left at like the last part of this class. That's why I came in at 8:30 to take the test.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's
And of course, and then McKinley took the test too.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Kendrick.
I don't know where he's at.
I don't either. And Robert Harris, the other Robert. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I guess some others. Billy, is your other friends coming today?
Yes.
All right. I will give you the test back at 10:15. Morgan and Jessica will start the test at 10:15 in the room, so we'll look the test then. And I'll quit live streaming, but I know Kendrick has not taken the test, and then one of the Roberts. So, and I started out with 24 in here, and there's still 24 on the roster, and they're still active, I guess. Anyway, I'll take roll by who didn't get a test back today, I suppose. Some of you like problems better, and you did okay on this test. But when I give you instructions, Morgan, I'm sure you and Jessica will follow them. These folks, the other day, I gave instructions. I gave journal paper, put the journal entries on, but they decided to put the journal entries on the back somewhere. Or crowd them in on that page. I told them not to make comments. Some of those questions asked for comments.
Oh, I did, but
Some of them still made comments.
I didn't know. We didn't
I told the whole class.
I was there.
I said, only do the current year on the ratios. There's 4 or 5 problems on ratios. They did both. Okay.
Extra.
Yeah, no extra credit. The cash flow statement, I told them use one of the journal pages, put it on. But they put the cash flow statement every which way, everywhere on different pages. And it was hard to track some of their answers down. Anyhow. So you all will do better today, you too. But now, managerial accounting. We have had proprietorships, we've had partnerships, we've had corporations. And those are the 3 major forms of business. The only form of business we did discuss was nonprofit. And we do have a course for accounting maintenance called government, which is nonprofit. We went through activities such as retail. Semester 1. All right. And we went through the service business, semester 1. And that's what we've been sticking with, retailing and service. Now we're up to manufacturing. Okay? Are there any manufacturing companies in the Bluefield, Princeton, your living area? Does anybody make anything around the Bluefield area? What do they make?
There are some.
Do we have a car factory in the Bluefield area? What? Blue Wolf?
Blue.
Oh, Blue Wolf, yeah, okay, yeah, I think we had, what TV program that James played on, Game of Thorns? Is it Thorns or Thrones? All right, but anyway, Blue Wolf, they do make a lot of cleaning supplies. Joy Manufacturing, I think they still make some machinery and equipment. We have a quarter machinery. I don't know if they just service Caterpillar or they still make some Caterpillar items. Do we have a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola bottling plant?
Yes, too.
That's a form of manufacturing. Down in Blue Well, we used to have a clothing manufacturer. They made clothes for high schools, sweatshirts, the school colors and names and so on. I think it's out. Um, but anyhow, when I was here in '79, I worked with that company and had some of my students working with them. We had marketing problems. And later on, they went bankrupt. They were disguising drug sales. They were shipping in drugs from Colombia in shoes. They had a loan from the Small Business Administration. At that time, I was a member of the United States Small Business Administration called A-Score. I was counseling businesses. And there was one, we had a class to work with. Okay? But anyhow, manufacturing business. Everything you have with you today is manufactured. All the clothes you have on are manufactured. The jewelry you have on is manufactured. The books in front of you is manufactured. Desk you sit at is manufactured. Construction is manufactured. Different to it. This building is manufactured. Put it together. Everything you're drinking somehow or another manufactured. Okay. Not much the bottled water, I guess, but you got to put it together. So forth. All right. Your calculators, your pencils, everything is manufactured. So that's what we're talking about, managerial accounting. We just went through financial accounting, now managerial accounting. And I know that even health services has to take managerial and accounting and management, even that information system we had. I just don't understand why marketing don't have to take managerial accounting. Always thought it was in there. All right. But anyway, financial accounting, managerial accounting. Financial accounting is different. We report to stockholders, creditors, government agencies. But managerial accounting is more used internally for the company's needs. We're going to get down organizational charts. You get that in management. I'm not concerned about organizational charts. I'm not concerned with management terms at the moment, line and staff. Has anybody ever worked in a manufacturing company? Morgan, McDonald's is not manufacturing. But you can use cost concepts even from McDonald's to get the cost of a burger or a Big Mac or what have you. Okay. Construction uses cost accounting concepts. All right, the controller is the chief management accountant, and a lot of our manufacturing companies have hired some of our students as controllers. Some companies call them chief financial officers, some call them controllers, and what have you. Again, management terminology, planning, direction, controlling, improving decision making. I'll leave most of that for your management class. Now, if I give you any of these in a multiple choice question, we'll go over them. Here's the rest of the world. All right, we keep up with different kinds of costs in managerial accounting. All right, and cost is going to be classified, as you'll see, in different ways. We'll have direct costs, or identified with and can be traced to a cost of. Okay, we're building the highway. We're building a new dorm. What will be some of the costs that goes into making a new dorm, building a new dorm? Right, labor is a direct cost. Direct labor that is. Materials is a direct cost. Direct materials that is. But we had a foreman, he's indirect labor. Okay, if we have a surveyor, he's indirect labor. If we have a flag person down on the highway during construction, that's indirect labor. Men on the dozer, dumping the gravels, or with the shovel, they're direct labor. Okay. So we do have direct and indirect costs. Now, most of our indirect costs is put into a category called overhead. All right. Your employee taxes is overhead. Indirect labor is overhead. The supervisor is overhead. The foreman is overhead. That's all the indirect labor. All right, you see, materials is a direct cost of making a guitar. Okay. And some of the indirect costs they mentioned is the supervisor. All right, here's the three big costs. Direct materials is our World Summit over with yet? All right. Anyhow, direct material, direct labor, factory overhead. Now, if you were building a house and you need managerial accounting and construction just to give a bid. Now you're going to build a house, and your contractor, he can go to Lowe's or Home Depot or something, and he can say your materials is going to cost you $50,000. You've already got your land, and we don't count all that. You've got your roads, we don't count all that. You're building a house. He says, I want to charge you as much for labor as your materials cost. Now he's going to charge you $10,000 for overhead. That's for his electricity, his generator, his depreciation, his overhead, his tools, and so forth. And then he wants to make a profit. If he wants to make $30,000 on building you a home, then he'll give you a bid of $140,000. If you don't like it, you go somewhere else and get another bid. So you need to know managerial accounting and some cost accounting. Even if you're in the construction business, give it a bid. Now, have any of you all ever made anything, such as arts and crafts? What have you made for you? Tables and chairs. So you do woodwork, you make them from scratch, or just refurbish them? I had another guy in here a couple of years, semesters ago, and he was making log furniture. And he was making log beds, log chairs, and I think he was going to sell some down in the Smoky Mountains for those cabins. You know what I'm talking about? You know the guy? No, I figured you know it, he's wild. But.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
Said I figured you would know it, he's wild.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. Anyhow, so if you make something, even Chris, if you make a table, he's got wood. He's got his own labor that he made under price. He's got overhead, whether he makes these building outdoors or in his basement or whatever. He's using electricity, which is overhead, so forth. Now, you may have some indirect materials. Sometimes I would count nails and glue as indirect material. They do become part of the item. If it's part of the item, you can call it direct material. Okay? Now, a lot of these people are arts and crafts. If you go up to Tamarack, a lot of people have made things at Tamarack, right? And they've got materials, labor, and overhead. Now, you might make a handmade quilt, and you might say $1,000 for a handmade quilt. Seems high, don't it? But you can get a mass produced, maybe buy a quilt at Walmart for $100, $50. The handmade takes a lot of time. You got materials, you got labor, you got overhead. And your overhead is setting up in arts, fairs, or travel, license. Eva on a roll this morning. Okay. I would ask her what's funny, but I wouldn't understand. Eva, that's okay. You've come a long way. I can understand 5 of your words now instead of 1. All right. Eva, how many languages do you speak? What? Just one?
1.5.
All right. So you speak 2 languages. Carlos, did you say you spoke 5 languages? Don't forget. All right. Materials, labor, and overhead makes a product. Direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead. Well, it'll come back. The cost of wages, direct labor. You can see that examples, direct labor, the wages of employees who cut guitars out of raw lumber, mechanics wages, machine operators wages, assembly wages. Now, has anybody ever worked in a factory? Well, where, Marco? What you do as a little kid? One summer between classes, I worked Detroit at Chrysler. I worked on the assembly line. And I could see materials, labor, and overhead go back and visualize. I used to take my Mandeville County students from the community college down to a place called Lear. They made door panels for General Motors. And I have taken students up to Dudley. They have a Volvo truck manufacturing plant there. They make Volvo trucks. So it's good if a student can at least tour a factory. factory overhead, heating, lighting, repairing, depreciation, property taxes, insurance, all that is factory overhead. So you got three things in the make of a product. You got materials, labor, and overhead. Now, who just had economics? Who had economics? Are you taking it? Well, you should have covered the factors of production. What are the four factors of production? Are you an econ one or two? If you covered one, are you covering supply and demand? That's econ one. Okay. Have you never heard of the four factors of production? Land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurability. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurability. So, in accounting, your materials is land. Labor is labor. In accounting, capital is money or investment. But in economics, capital is machine. So in economics, the four factors of production: land, material, labor, capital, that's machine. And entrepreneurability, that's investment. Stockholders, proprietors, whoever starts a business. They take the other three, put them together, and make a product. Same thing here. You take these three, you put them together, you make a product. All right. What materials went into your textbook? Now, in economics, where does paper come from? Wood, yeah. Wood. What do you want to talk about? And labor. I toured a book company one time where they had the printing press operating and binding books together. Okay? They have labor for those machine operators. And of course, they have ownership, whoever owns the book company, whether it's Southwestern, Engage. And by the way, how many of you have 100% finished Engage for chapter 17? 100% finished Engage chapter 17.
I'm like 97.
97 is not bad. 90%. That's not bad. All right, you need to have that finished by the next class. That'd be 17, not 18. All right, 18 is not a hard chapter. 19, we may only be able to cover 2 chapters. All right, so factory overhead, and in your textbook, they could have counted glue, binding, all of that, as overhead or direct material. Make it either way. Now, your print, what do you think ink is made out of? Ink. That does your printing. There's a lot of co-products in your ink that prints the book. Okay. COAA, not COLB or COLB. I'll get that mixed up myself when I'm watching. Okay. This is the COLE building. Okay. The what?
What do you mean this is a cold building?
Look outside. Anyway.
I thought it was the hood.
Oh, it was the hood way before. When Cole donated $600,000 to put this equipment in these rooms, they also put Cole's name on it. Didn't notice that, did you? Okay. COLD refers to the weather. COAL goes into making your ink for your book. You know, ladies don't wear nylon hose much anymore, but there's a lot of coat products goes into making nylon hose.
Oh.
All right, identify the following costs. Leather is direct materials. Who looks for the machinery that sold baseball gloves is factory overhead. Wages of assembly line workers is direct labor. Ink, YouTube, print, a player's autograph on a glove is factory overhead. Not part of the glove, don't need to be there. Prime cost is pretty much your direct materials, direct labor. Prime cost is direct materials and direct labor. Conversion cost is direct labor and factory overhead. Now, which one of those overlaps? Which one of those is both prime and conversion? All right, direct labor is both prime and conversion costs. Prime cost, direct materials, direct labor. Conversion cost, direct labor, factory overhead. Leather, prime cost. Overhead, conversion cost. Wages of assembly line worker. I don't know why they have B there. P for conversion. Let's see. P for prime. C for conversion. Both. All right. Because if it's labor, it's both. And ink is conversion cost. Okay. Overhead. Product cost in this chapter is materials, labor, and overhead. Now, if I have to give you a multiple choice test on the exam, I'll have to put some of these in multiple choice questions. All right, period cost consists of selling and administrative. That's everything else. So, the president of a company is property administration, but the supervisor of the factory is factory overhead. The worker on the assembly line is direct labor. The factory nurse, the factory janitor, the factory elevator operators are all factory overhead. Appreciation on the factory is factory overhead. Appreciation on the home office is administrative costs. So that's what we're trying to get straight in this chapter. Some more examples. Leather is a product cost. Cost of endorsement from a professional baseball player is a period cost. That's selling. Office supplies is a period cost. Ink is a product cost because it's factory overhead. A new term for some of you means maximize profits while attempting to preserve the environment, the economy, needs of future generations. Any of you heard of the Green Deal? What is the Green Deal? Nobody's heard of the Green New Deal, haven't you? Come on. We're going green.
Yeah, going green.
Well, that's the Green New Deal. Going green. What's going green mean, Margot?
Try to like reuse, recycle.
Recycle? Yeah, we have one congresswoman from New York wants to do away with planes, trains, and automobiles. Especially planes and automobiles, not trains.
And cows.
What?
And cows.
And cows.
Yeah, if you're talking about Cortez, yeah, cows.
Why don't you want to get away with the cows?
Because their farts release methane and that damages the ozone.
That's for real? Yeah, I heard
That is for
That
real.
is for
I heard
real.
that bit.
That is for real, yeah. But, anyhow, and conserving energy and so forth, okay? Do away with anything that hurts the environment. But the United States not do that alone. China and India has probably half the world population. They don't do it. They wouldn't help one country to do it alone. Okay. So Alexander keeps up with some news or politics or what have you.
Oh, I keep up with comedy.
Do you? Yeah. Oh, you watch Saturday Night Live?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Pure natural resources. That's what the Green Deal is. Don't use up what we got. We probably got enough coal, COAL, to last 600 years. But does it pollute the environment? Does it make the climate change? They're even blaming the president for the immigrants coming up from one of those little countries, Honduras. But anyway, the climate change is driving them somewhere else. So, financial statements for manufacturing business, balance sheets the same, but you may have 2 or 3 inventories. Income statements are the same. However, you don't have merchandise inventory. You have materials, work in process, and finished goods. Finished goods, you're ready to sell them. Materials you start with, work in process, you have it half finished, okay, or 2/3 finished. That's the only difference in the balance sheet. Now, the income statement, you got merchandise, you got cost of merchandise sold. Service fees, you don't have to worry about that. But here, we've got cost of goods manufactured. We've got to figure up our manufacturing costs. We don't purchase the goods, we make the goods. In the retail business, we purchase. Factory, we make. All right, what are some of the largest companies in the country? Some of the largest companies in the country. Walmart is the largest retailer in business. Just so that. But you've got General Motors, Ford Motors, and Chrysler. You've got Goodyear, you've got Westinghouse, got all these book companies. Now you mentioned Amazon and Google. Google is more of a what kind of business? Is it manufacturing, retailing, or service? What?
Service, Google.
Pretty much service. Now, is Amazon manufacturing, retailing, or service? Amazon is large in retailing, aren't they? Okay. All right. We got to find cost of goods manufactured. All right, now this is going to be a new statement in financial accounting. We all have to do one of these. Now, if I give you a multiple choice exam, I'll give you one of these in class as a quiz. You've got to go manufacturing statement. Now, when you get through these 2 chapters, and you have to take managerial accounting next fall, you should have a jump up. Carlos, what are you majoring in? And how about you, Alton? What are you majoring in? Gotta have a minor. How about you, Brandon?
I agree with that.
Yeah. Keela? Management. You all have to have managerial. Reasonability says you don't have to have managerial, she's majored in marketing and sports management, right? But
But they don't have to.
not even,
Minor in management.
not even as a minor.
Well, if you take a minor, you can pick four classes and all at once.
Really? I thought anything in management should have to have managerial, maybe not.
If you're major, it's a minor, you can pick.
It doesn't take 4 out of 6 classes.
I'm surprised all the international students are taking the easy way out.
Why is it easy?
Marketing is the easiest maybe we
Well,
have.
marketing is the most
Yeah, but accounting in Europe is different. So if I finish accounting here, how am I gonna work this?
It is somewhat different, but not totally different, because some of the same concept. Most of my international students major in accounting. Jacob was from, New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Marta Breo, you ever heard of Marta Breo? She's from Spain, but they want to stay in this country, they majored in accounting, but they stayed in this country. And Mindy, I can't think of Wendy's last name, she was from Southern Africa.
She's from Zimbabwe.
What?
From Zimbabwe.
Oh, you knew Wendy?
I didn't meet her, but I heard.
Yeah, Zimbabwe gal, but she's working somewhere in this country in accounting. Jacob's getting an degree. But a lot of the international students that major in accounting, they want to stay here. If you want to go back home,
We don't try to stay where it belongs. It doesn't depend on you.
we don't want to keep Millie, we want her to go back.
Well, I'm staying, I'm a lawyer. So I have to.
What good is sports management going to do you law degree?
Entertainment.
What? Okay. Look, what's here for Bill?
If it's not accounting, it's not good.
A lot of economics is good. Unfortunately, we don't have many economic courses, just 2. But economics is good for a law degree.
But nothing else in the world.
Yeah.
Well, one day I'm gonna.
That'd be great, Millie. I'll call on you, okay? When I get 90 years old and want a divorce, I'll look for Millie. All right. On the serious side, we will learn this statement: materials, labor, and overhead. Add, begin the working process, subtract income. We've got to have this. This takes place of purchases, okay? All right, we've got to close it down now. For homework for Tuesday, chapter 18, please read it. Please finish Cengage, chapter 17, and please work the first 7 exercises in chapter 18. What? Verse 7. All right, and the rest of you, I'm going to give you your test. And
That's a lot of exercises.
oh, they're short. You'll be okay. All right, Jessica, you and I'll be over soon to tell you what to do and what not to do. That's tax test. You don't want that. Is that a county?
Yeah, that's expensive.
That's a county. I hope, Jessica, you're more than heard what I said. Don't answer any of the comments. only work the court, on ratio. And all of them, 13 or 15, only do 84. Also, no mids.
I know, like on number 13.
It's 13 only for that. This is the right one. All 10 is correct. Oh, let it be. If you're an auditor, or if you travel, you go up to the chief financial officer. Yeah, keep that from me. Amber's not here, Dave is not here. Um, Margot is here. Parsons not here, Jacob's not here. Amber is here. Yes. And then he. And now Leah. All right, I guess y'all need to go.
Yeah.
Well. Got around the camera, see Cheller's not here. Kenley's not here. Oh, has everybody got this? Well, Kelly, you don't have yours. Does everybody have theirs? Hey. All right. All right, that's 20 points, folks. Carlos is the only one that got 20 points on these 10 questions. Okay, and some of you got 18 and 16. It went on down to the minimum. One person got 8. So 8 to 20 was the score. Now, 5 of you handed in your homework one day. I said I'd give you 5 points. I want you to go ahead and add 5 points on there. That's 5 of you. In chapter, what was that, 15? All right, now up to 16. 5 of you handed in. I've got those papers. You know what 5 you are. 5 of you got bonus, 5 points on 15. 5 of you got bonus on 16. I don't think I gave you bonuses on 17. That's on the exam. 5 points on the exam. So you can pick up 10 points on this ticket. Now on the exam, you can pick up 10 points for attendance, 5 points, the red straight.
On when? This test?
On the exam.
Okay.
Now, Kevin, you will add that, whatever you got on the green form. All right, Kenley's not here. Sandra, here you go. See how good this is hit. Now, you play baseball. Chris, say Mr. Walton. One and go, it's not your pace back. Eagle. Dylan. Alexandra. Jacob.
No, it's 6.
William. Who's right enough? Issue. What do you see policy? Okay, we look forward. One's good, one's not good. Okay, hold on. Some of you may gain points simply because you hid your answer somewhere and I didn't find it. So let's see if we can find answers here. You're welcome to check out your true false answers on the Scantron. It's a little blurry, I don't know why.
Can you zoom in?
That helped? It helped.
I had erased and marked the correct answers, but I think it picked up where I had erased something.
I've done that.
So,
I've done that.
yeah,
Which one?
7 and 8.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
let's get that 4 point. Anybody else? Let's look at number 11. Please check your problem number 11. Number 11 was worth 10 points. I tried to give you half credit, not take off over 5, but some of you did them so bad I had to take off 7. So we invested in bonds and bought interest. Then we received our interest, and then we sold our bonds and it gained of 20,000. Some of you were close on this, but you had a gain of like 15 or something. All right, any question? Number 11. Number 12, 10 points. Number 12, invested in stock. The cost method. No entry. Dividend revenue. If it were the equity method, you would have had an entry here, and this would have been investment. Some of you did the equity method, but you should have done the cost method. 10 points. All right. Number 13. I only asked you to answer number 1. Is that correct? 5 points. And I believe out of 20, maybe 17 people got that right answer. 9,000. 9,000. There was just a difference in your market value and what you paid for. Number 14 is 20 points. All right, number 14. You had to have 172.2 under operating. And the problem did say to do the whole cash flow statement. You thought you only had to do operating, but except for the operating part, use the indirect method, but you had to do the whole statement. All right, for investing 109,200, for financing 60,000. Now some of you went down here and plugged in some figures for me, but you can't do that. You had to have these 3 figures. Now, how many of you got? Now, Kelly, who got 17 points by doing it in class that day? You took the 17 points. So I just took off 3 out of 20. You took the 17 because you were close to getting it right that day in class. Kelly, did you take the 17?
No, I tried it and then I got an 8.
Oh, you only lost 2 there. So you were real close. Who else is supposed to get 17? I didn't say. All right, now, how many of you today got none taken off of this problem? Who got it 100% right? Carlos, did you get 100% right? Yeah.
Oh, 14, I got them.
Are you out in La La Land today, Millie?
I lost 14.
You must have replaced Eva in La La Land. And you got -0. Who else got -0 on top of 14?
I didn't understand what's, like,
You're the
that
only
cash
one
flow
that got that one? You get it?
What?
Do you have these numbers out to the side here? I guess I took off 6 because I don't like it. Okay. Oh, it's I'm gonna give you that 6 back. Okay. But add 6 back. Only 2 people got that statement, 100%? All right, that's 20 points, folks. Now, number 15, I counted this with 10 points because it's the easiest ratios you had. And I only wanted the current. Now here, I guess it asked for working capital, 561,000. And here, 2.6 and 1.9. What made that little problem hard for some of you who didn't know what their current assets were? If you miss working capital 561, you may have missed the other two items. So if you miss one, I took off 3. If you miss 2, I took off 6. If you miss 3, I took off 10. Something like that. Okay, up to this point, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, you could have made 75 up to this point, and with 2 bonuses, you could have made 85, which is a B, without finishing the rest of the table. But some of you don't like bonus points. You say you don't need them. You're going to make 100 on the test. Well, you didn't make 100 on the test because nobody did. Number 16. The rest of these are only 5 points. Six, 60.59, and 5,000. Wait a minute, I only took these 2. You missed 1, I took off 2. All right, here's your 2 answers. Now, on number 17, here's your 2 answers. 7.72. And now, the majority of you did pretty good on ratios. The majority. And there's a couple of you, they said, what's a ratio? All right. 4 people. 4 people. 4 people did not bring in a list of ratios. Out of 20, that's bad. Miss Nigeria brought an extra copy for Franco. That started it off. Since she did that, I had Robert over here didn't have one. A couple of you, I let you take the leaf out of your book. Then I just had Sarah to go down and copy 2 or 3 to give Kenley or whoever in the other room. Those ratios were important unless you had them memorized. Number which one? Which one? 16. All right.
Well, the first 2 aren't bad.
Where did you hide your hands? What?
But it's trying to.
You got 60. Did you get 7? Did you get 66?
Oh, yeah.
Did you get 6? Okay, I'll give you a 3 minus 2. Okay, number 17. Moving along, folks. $18, $19, $20. Let's look at $19, $20 first. They're shorter. $19, 2.10 and 0.79. $20 is 27.5 and 35. I think about 18 out of 20 people got number 20 correct. At least 15 of you got this one correct. Those are worth 5 points apiece. Please check. Now this one, 6 answers worth 5 points apiece. On number 18, I would only take off 5.
How dare you?
I didn't, Kelly, because it's you. No, seriously. Well, that's why.
I write big.
All right.
I wrote
You got 2. What's number 18?
Yeah, and then the other part.
18. Where do you see 18? This is 18.
Sorry, only mine.
Like rainbow pages. Eighteen. Eighteen, that's one we're looking at right now. Well, it was supposed to be 16, you only got one, but I put the other two in here. Are they correct? All right, let's see, D and F. I'll scroll it up. Let's look at those words. All right, look at E and F. Now, the class as a whole, you did lousy on these. Well, that's problem, you did bad. Evan, did you get those two right?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so you got 3 out of 6. So I'll give you 3 points, I should only take on 2. Head back to.
Thank you.
You know,
How many did you have right?
Out of all of those, only those last three.
Out of 6.
3 out of 6.
I'll take off 2. All right, now you have the pieces of your puzzle. Take the white tiers, the score. Kelly had a 71 plus 4, she got a 74 out of 80. Kelly will add that to what she made on multiple choice and her bonus. Kelly should have over 100. Well,
Yeah.
right on the money. Put those on your dream Scantron and add them up. We got 102 up here from Alexandra. You're senior next year?
Yes, sir, next year.
You're working 12 hours of accounting next year. At least out of mine, you're good at it, Alexandra. Okay. You ready right now?
Now then I can go out. Right, that's what it's more of the and plus. Like.
How many of these are you? Okay, what do you all say when a stray dog comes in your house? Don't say anything, a stray dog comes in your house?
A stray?
Yeah,
Oh.
get out of here. Okay, everybody will drink up. See you all, Jimmy.
Alright. Have a good weekend.
You too, Margot. Daisy?
I have a room.
Huh? I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's look at it, though. Let's see.
No, yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
What'd you end up with? What?
they have the same numbers.
Oh, you didn't?
No, so it's.
Well, but I didn't know you tried them. If you didn't, if you tried them, I'd at least give you 1 point, Franklin. If you tried them here, that's, wait now, you had this one okay, right?
Yeah.
All right, but I'm,
No, you meant maybe this one. No,
what is it? This is 16.
it's 16.
You had the 2 correct answers, right?
Yeah. Maybe not.
Then I should not have taken on 5 here.
That's good. This one I have it wrong, so.
All right, now that's
Yeah.
15. Now that's okay. All right, I'm gonna give you back 5.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna give you 69 over here. Put you up to 87.
I think so.
Did you say that you were counting for attendance?
Bye.
As bonus
Yeah,
on this one? Oh, okay. I forgot
I'll give
that.
you a 10-point bonus on the exam.
Okay,
You haven't missed, what, maybe 1 day?
yeah, just one.
All right.
That was because I had to stay home because
Yeah.
something was sick.
And, text you.
And you pre-registered. So you'll get 15-point bonus
All right.
on your exam.